Today's episode of the Rough Drafts Podcast is brought to you by the newly updated sportsbook at unicorn.com. Unicorn has been a sponsor since the beginning, and this is honestly the best looking and most convenient the site has ever really been. Their new TV guide style layout has made finding and betting a breeze, and with a newly designed and intuitive bet slip, all the information and even access to multi-bets are at your fingertips. I've already gotten started with my LPL and LCK outrights, and even though it's only been a day into the regular season, KT has already let me down, but Unicorn won't. So check out unicorn.com, the world's premier esports betting site.
Hello, Internet. This is Chase, RedShirtKing Wassenar. Welcome to the 2017 NA LCS Summer Split Predictions episode of the Rough Drafts Podcast. That's right. We are locking our predictions in before the season starts. We are letting you know none of this wishy-washy, they could be in this range or whatever else. No, this is what we're putting our names next to for this split. This is the episode we're going to have to defend at the end of this split when we do another rewind. So it's time for us to put our money where our mouth is. Walter Ceades Fedczuk is here with me today. Walter, you ready to break all these teams down? Give your quick hits on why these rankings are...
Hold on. I have told you time and time again, you need to address me properly. You got to do this entire intro all over again. I can't work under these conditions when you are so disrespectful. I'm just going to do it myself.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you your Guess the Lines World Heavyweight Champion, Walter Ceades Fedczuk.
I really like the idea that our Guess the Lines Championship has weight divisions. I love that idea. We've really got to expand on that further. That'll be in the podcaster wrestling episode that we'll do at a later point in time.
If we aren't heavyweights of the League of Legends Twitter analyst scene, I don't know what we are.
That's fair. Well, let's start with a team that I think we know exactly what it is. Who's your 10th spot, Walter?
My 10th spot is Team Liquid. Because screw you guys. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I already said everything I needed to on the team by team preview, but you are a joke, and God, it's so easy to make money off of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have Echo Fox at number 10, just because I think that the flaws that are inherent in them are something that I'm not sure exactly how they're going to fix it. Certainly the idea that they're now going to only scrim Delta Fox, which is something we've learned since we released our Echo Fox article, I consider that concerning. I don't think this Delta Fox team is somebody that's going to push the main roster to be better. I think that both teams are probably just going to wallow in their mistakes, and as long as Keith is on the main roster, I just have no faith in it. Who's your number 9, Walter?
My number 9 is Echo Fox, and guess what? I worked for an organization that in another game, their two teams only exclusively scrimmed against each other, and one of them were world champions, and then that team, when they left the organization, won another world championship. So almost won another world championship. So I don't know. I think there's some credence to it, and I agree with Zixlo, who did say on Twitter that a lot of the groundwork for all of these teams is being laid there to kind of do that thing. So yeah, I like it. It's a nice FU to Jack and the rest of the League of Legends triumvirate. So go Echo Fox. You're still not good enough to be out at the bottom two.
Yeah, maybe I'd feel differently if they were champions or close or even remotely in the vicinity. I have Team Liquid at number 9. I don't think this team is a very good team. I think the fact that they ran this roster back, a roster that they have seen fail basically on numerous occasions at this point, I don't really know what to tell you. Team Liquid clearly doesn't care about learning from their mistakes, so I can't really care about Team Liquid. Number 8, Walter, who you got?
My number 8 team is Team Envious. I think they're better than the other two. Lyra's a stud. He deserved to be all-pro first-team juggler. And I can't wait till he's on Dignitas with some actual real teammates. Can't wait for it.
That's fair. I have Envious at 8 as well. I really love Lyra. I think anyone who's listened to this podcast for a while knows how much I love Lyra. And I think that we've learned in the past that going from a barely LCS tier, if even meaningful in the LCS, to an actual decent player can be a massive leap. I think going from Ninja to either Niski or Pyrian could be a huge boost for them, just because that won't be a liability anymore. If they get anything out of that lane, they'll be in a better spot than they were last split for the majority of the season. Number 7, Walter, what you got?
I have Immortals. Really going to be dependent on growth from Cody Sung and Pobelter not inting every single game for the rest of his life. Also pairing Pobelter with Xmithie again from that first run at the LCS championship that CLG had. I dig it, but not good enough to be a playoff team in my opinion.
Yeah, as an Immortals fan, I have them at 7 as well.
Oh yeah, that's why too.
That's not helping. And certainly I think Pobelter has shown a limited amount of growth over the course of his career. At this point, I think this is the worst he's looked in a while. Maybe Xmithie helps. Maybe Xmithie isn't particularly good anymore. That was a pretty terrible split we just saw him bounce off of. I don't see how this change makes them better on paper from the team that didn't qualify for the playoffs last split. So I don't have him in the playoffs this split. Walter, number 6. Where are you going there?
I think it's funny how we both put your teams that you root for in each of the LCSs at number 7. For my 6th team, I have FlyQuest because Turtle's an upgrade, but still, like, the talent ceiling is there, and you can't just get by on sheer shot calling willpower alone. At some point, like, it's gonna fall apart. Sorry, guys. Like, you'll make the playoffs. You have a nice run in the gauntlet. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have them at 6 as well. Certainly, we see more potential in them this split than we did last split, and I think that there are reasons to believe that with Wild Turtle, they're going to look better. I think that AD carry was not really their problem. I think that their problem is that Balls does not look particularly good. I think that Lemon Nation has been below average, and I think that High, when on champions with which he's not particularly comfortable, drops off significantly. These are all concerns, and there are things that keep me from bumping them any further on the list, despite the fact that the synergies are clearly there, and they do have an understanding of the macro game that sets them apart from most 6 seeds that we put on this list. I just don't think they have the tools they need to close it out. Number 5, Walter, what you got?
I'm gonna go with my 2017 Spring Split champions, Team Dignitas. This is kind of where they ended up, and I think we could see some steady improvement across the board. And I'm really excited to see what Keenan Law do this split, as he says for the 2nd time on one of these shows.
Yeah. Look, I like this team at number 5 as well. I think that when you look at the numbers, there was a commenter in our episode there who really broke down that Keen was a better player than people necessarily recognize. I think that there is talent there. Gun to my head, I still don't trust him in that moment.
Fair.
I think that Big is a step backwards. And I think Chaser still has some significant concerns. But you know what? This team is a good team. They might not be a great team, but they are good. They might be very good by the end of the split. And if they could just keep themselves relevant, they'll have that gauntlet spot, and then anything's possible from there.
Exactly.
Walter, number 4.
I have Counter Logic Gaming. The more I think about this, the more I'm talking myself into Dardoch. And this could work. And this is a team that actually really cares about North American talent. They've got probably 2 of the best young NA talents on their roster in Stixxay and Dardoch. So, and plus, Zixel had that great thing about scrimming against a sister team and that soon becoming the norm. I really agree with that. So, smart guy that they have as a head coach. I don't know. This could be an interesting split from Counter Logic Gaming. I almost want to put them 3. I'll be honest. I almost wanted to put them 3.
Yeah, I went back and forth between having them my 3 and 4 spot. Ultimately, I had them number 4 as well. You're starting to notice a pattern here. Unfortunately, I think you and I agree a lot this time around. And I have CLG at number 4 because I think that everything that I liked about CLG last split are still there, except now they have a slightly higher ceiling because Dardoch's there. I think that will be a massive alleviation of some of the bigger problems that they had in terms of just falling behind constantly. Certainly when Dardoch ints, they're going to continue to fall behind, but I think his high points will be much higher. I think that there are still flaws in the rest of the roster that keep them from being higher for me. Darshan is one that I'm going to point to, but the pieces are certainly there. And if Darshan gets back to 80, 90% of his Season 6 spring days. Oh boy, this team could get real fun real fast. Who's your number 3, Walter?
I said it on the other day's preview episode. It's Phoenix 1. Consistency is still an issue for me from Inori and from the support position. I want them to figure it out. I want Inori to figure it out. I genuinely want this kid to have some success after it took him so long to, get a spot in the LCS. I just don't believe they're good enough to be in the top 2.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I have them at number 3 as well for all of those reasons. Also, I just don't really like Ceades. I think that Ceades is a guy who I see as a massive question mark. I have yet to see him perform on anything that wasn't just shields all the time. And even then, he had kind of mixed results on that. So I need to see more from him before I'm willing to believe. I want to see more stability from their jungle spot. But hey, Arrow was the MVP for a reason. He's really good. And in this meta, he's going to be scary good. I think Ree is great. And I think Zig's coming along nicely. They'll still be a very good team. I just don't think they're top 2 ready. So you know what teams we're left with, Walter? Are you going to surprise us here with your number 2 spot? Or is this going exactly the place that everyone who knows about your fandom thinks it's going to?
Oh, yeah, number 2 is TSM. They're the best team in North America, return of Doublelift. Yeah, they're going to crush it this split.
So number 2. Okay. Huh. Really? I can't tell if you're trolling or not because I don't have the graphic in front of me.
Yeah, it is. TSM's on the board at number 2. It's actually on the board at number 2.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I like this. I have Cloud9 at number 2. I think that Cloud9 has a lot of pieces going their way. I think that there is a risk of pigeonholing them that some fans have criticized us for in the past. I think that there are the steps forward for them. They're already, very, very good. For them to be the greatest in North America, I need to see a step forward when the pressure's on the most. And we'll see if they get there. I guess you think they will. You haven't won.
Enjoy the hedge bet and the counter jigs. Dropping the mic now.
Oh, of course. Of course. I don't know how I didn't see that coming. The shoe was going to drop. I mean, can you say some nice things about Cloud9? Can you throw out why they might win if they pull it off?
Enjoy the hedge betting. Enjoy the counter jinx. Walter out.
Cool. Well, given that I have as much, if not far greater of a jinxing history, the fact that I have TSM at number 1 might be some solace to some Cloud9 fans. Look, TSM was the best team in North America before they brought back Doublelift to be their AD carry, and Doublelift is the best AD carry in North America when he's had a full split. He versus Arrow is going to be an amazing battle that I can't wait to see go back and forth, but it's a weapon to TSM's already pretty stacked arsenal, and I don't see anyone taking him out at this point. I think that it'll require some off-season moves and some adjustments to what TSM have been able to build that I just haven't seen yet from a North American team. So they're my picks for the champs. You've heard Walter's pick for the champs as potentially cruel and heartless as the presentation may be. He's still at him top 2, no matter what you believe about reverse jinxing and whatever else. So certainly they're a very good team, and certainly this should be a very good split. I'm excited to see where this all goes. Walter, if people wanted to talk to you about anything you said today, where can they find you?
Listen, being the premier esports gambler in the world, I'm going to dub that title on myself, and your Guess the Lines World Heavyweight Champion, I got to hedge my bets, man. Either way, I make money. And it's all about that bling bling, dollar dollar all. Come on. At Ceades_LOL. Come at me, haters. Come at me.
Yeah, if you want to urge Walter to never say bling bling dollar bill y'all ever again, you can find me at RedShirtKing. Let's get a petition going, guys. I think that's something where I draw the line. You've said a lot of things on this podcast, Walter, but that is where I draw the line. Which I don't know whether this is more about me or you right there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to follow us SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you find our stuff. We're going to be producing episodes all throughout the split, so be sure to stay tuned. And until next time, goodbye, Internet.
You can follow the Rough Drafts Podcast on all your favorite social media sites. Twitter @RoughDraftsPod, Facebook.com/RoughDraftsPod, SoundCloud.com/esportsroughdrafts, YouTube.com/RoughDraftspodcast, as well as on iTunes by searching for the Rough Drafts Podcast. The Rough Drafts Podcast is supported by our lovely Patreons at patreon.com/RoughDraftsPod and by viewers like you. Thanks for listening, and goodbye, Internet.